Hey YouTube, I'm Captain Kurt. This is my first do-it-yourself video that I'm trying to produce here today. I'm sitting on my front porch. It's been pouring down rain here in Oklahoma all night long. First time in forever. This is August. It's not supposed to do that. Well, anyway, the long story short of this video is going to be my job here today is to recover and replace a couple of bunks on my pontoon trailer. We bought this trailer about 3 years ago. A couple of weeks ago I was unloading off the trailer. It was a little shallow. I was trying to make a turn when I should have been. Anyways, I ended up pulling a couple of bunks right off the trailer. Not pretty. So now it's my job to replace them. I've got the supplies, I've got everything. I've even watched a lot of YouTube videos trying to figure out exactly the right way to do this, and there's hundreds and hundreds of ways to do it. I'm going to show you the way the folks that did it, original equipment on my boat, did it. And I think it's pretty slick compared to the way that the other YouTubers are putting out there. So stay with me here just a minute, and we'll go out and show you what they do as original equipment compared to what I was taught. So now we're sitting out by the boat. I'll give you a picture of what it looks like here. Let's see if we can get it out here. The light's not real good. There's a lot of glare, and it's not going to work. Okay, we'll show you the rig in a minute. Anyways, I'm sitting out here by the bunk, one of the bunks that I've got to replace. There's actually two. And I just wanted to show you how they cut the material to do this. So I'm going to try and get a shot inside here and see what it looks like on the camera. So what we've got is the material. You can see, first of all the crud on the ground there, that's just the board. It's completely rotten inside. Completely rotten inside there. Not good. So anyways, to show you how they cut it though, it looks like they roll out the length and do all that stuff, but when it comes time, they've done all the stapling along the bottom. You get all that done. This is just to show you how to wrap the end. So it looks like to me they come out about an inch or so. There's the end of the board right at the end of my thumb. They leave about an extra inch of length on the carpet itself as it's laying there, and just cut a straight line about an inch away from the board all the way up to the top of the board that would be here if it wasn't rotten and falling apart. But you can see the cut. It's an L shape. It's right there. You can see that. So then, assuming this was all stapled up into the board and stuff, that'll leave you with about an inch of extra material here. And the idea is to simply make a butcher tuck up into the board and then fold it in like this. There we go. Fold it in like that. And just remember, this is all going to be stapled up. You fold it in like that and push that tuck up in there, and then pull the flap over the top, and boy does it make a neat looking joint. So I'm going to show you how I do it when I get in the house, but I wanted to show the damage. It's extremely bad. This whole board was rotten. Hell, that may have just been the problem, is that it just was rotten and it just decided to break off. It's so soft. I mean, you could push your finger up into some of this stuff in here. It's really bad. So anyways, we're going to go back in the house, and I'm going to wrap this exact board. It's about a 7.5 foot long board. I'm going to wrap it in the carpet. I'll kind of show you a little progress, and we'll go from there. Be back in a minute. So I've already done one board. It's a 14 footer that I had to do this morning. I did this one in the fashion that one of the YouTubers showed online, and it came out good. I like it. It's clean. It's not real bunchy and all, and the folds up nicely. I got lots of staples all down through here. This particular stuff was 9-inch. I did paint these boards black and waterproof them with urethane to keep kind of help them to last a little longer than the. I guess it was July the 4th of 2020, so it's been about 4 years since we bought this boat, and these bunks are completely rotten that I'm replacing so far. I've probably got more I need to do. Long story short, we're going to start making some material cuts here. I'm going to leave a 6-inch tail off both ends of the board, so 6 inches will give me plenty of carpet to wrap around the board. And then remember, down here on the ends, when it comes time to cut the ends square, I'm going to leave about an inch away from the board, illustrated by the yellow cap, and just make a cut in up to where the top of the board would be. It'll look different when it's all wrapped up, obviously, but it'll be this line and then this line, hopefully. Back in a flash. I'm going to get this thing started. I'll give you a little progress as we move along here. So okay, again, one of the YouTube videos I watched about this process showed you start stapling in about the middle of the board. You space your staples out as close as you can get them. A couple of inches is usually good enough. The way I feel about this is staples are cheap, so you can afford to use a lot of them, and boats are expensive. They don't like to be scratched by nasty boards and nails, so use a lot of staples. That's what I'm saying here. Now what's interesting is I did use two manufacturers material, because on this guy over here, the long board that's 14.5 foot, I obviously needed more material than I needed on the 8 foot or 7.5 foot board. The problem being that the lengths that they make them in are limited, very limited. Like the one to make the 14-foot board, I had to buy a 19-foot piece. Sounded good at the time, but little did I know, or I can't do math because I'm from Oklahoma, I guess. Anyways, bottom line is one piece didn't do it, so I had to order another. So this material over here came from one manufacturer, and I cannot recall who it was. This material here was made by another manufacturer. Both are good stuff, I can tell. They're about the same as far as material quality is concerned. This is the second batch. Got it on Amazon. And another thing that's come up is this one shipped with, you see the glue spreader? Some people talk about spreading glue on your boards. I didn't think that was a very good idea, because I think the carpet needs to be able to move around a little bit as the boat comes in. Long story short, folks, I'm not going to glue these joints, but I did paint the boards and seal them with urethane to make them as waterproof as they could. Hopefully they'll last longer than the 4 years that the original equipment ones lasted. Anyways, to get to the point of what I was going to talk about here, the material on this guy over here being different than the material on this guy over here, this was a lot more flexible and easier to work with. This material over here, not quite as flexible, but seems like it might be a little heavier duty. Now I know this board gets a lot more wear and tear on it from the boat than this board. This one's on the inside, and the boat doesn't even hardly rest on it, but it does, depending on how it loads. This guy here, as you're loading the boat coming in, you kind of use this board either side, whichever side, because there's two of them. Whichever side you're coming from, you use this board to kind of bump into it a little bit, and it straightens your boat out and sends you up the trailer. A nice system, but apparently it causes a lot of wear on this outside board. So we're going to continue to staple the board and finish it out, and then I'll come back to you guys and show you the cut as to how to make the fold on the end down here. It's starting to look, you know, like you could see what's getting ready to happen. So I'll get back to that in just a minute. Okay. No, I'm not oriented properly. What am I doing? Oh well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I've made the cut. You can see here I kind of put an angle on this piece here. I thought it'd look a little nicer as you fold it over to have a little angle of the dangle going into it there. I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then we'll make the fold. Hopefully everything comes together for us here. If not, we'll trim and adjust. Okay, so now we're just going to cut to the chase, and we're going to fold the end here. I've tried to move the board around so there's a little better light here than there was, so hopefully this will work for y'all. Notice, like I said, we've got about 1 inch of material extra cut longer than the board. I come from a long family of meat cutting people, so we're going to do what's called a butcher wrap type of closure here. Basically, you take the corners and push them in like that, and you take these two ends and fold them over like that, and then you take this end here, pull the tab up and pull it up good and tight, and that's what it'll look like. I'm going to go ahead and staple this right here. Like I said, you can't have enough staples, boys and girls. You just can't have enough. Oh, I've made a mistake, because you shouldn't staple it on that like that first. You got to close these up. So let's push these out and we'll restaple. See how easy it is? Don't forget to pick these up or they'll end up in your feet. Sorry for the mistake, but hey, it wouldn't be an amateur video if I didn't make a mistake, right? So I'm gonna fold these guys over this way, like so, and put a staple in them right here first. Almost forgot. There we go. And we'll push this guy down in there like that, and fold this fellow over this way like that, and put a staple in him right here. Now we're ready to fold the flap over. Sorry, moved it out of the camera's center. Here we go. And make sure you pull this gootin' tight. Like I said, you can see there's no wood exposed. There's no catch points. It's pretty darn good looking way of doing things. Oh, left one in the board. There we go. Okay, got that out of there. Now I'll put some staples in it. Put some staples in it. And like I said, I like to use a lot of staples. And folks, that's a good looking butt joint right there. As far as I can tell, that's a really good looking joint. Thanks for watching.